Welcome to another mega exciting 5-minute auto pairing. So BradyHarder.
Check.
And so BradyHarder playing a Nimzo-Indian here.
Check.
So I want to collect that bishop and maybe try for E4 and F4 later. I think I'm going to try and learn a mistake from before. I'm going to play E4 here D5 rather than trying to sack a pawn on D4. I think I can try and get this bishop liberated a little bit. In any case, in this looks like a classic line. Let's see. Is this like theory? Probably it's theory. Right. So I'm just wondering if I can get to castle and then later play for F4. Just trying to make use of this C1 bishop. I think it's an interesting theme here, because this is okay. H4 here, is that also interesting? What would you do to H4? There's bishop G4. I don't want that pin particularly. If I did something like this, I don't know if that's crazy. Maybe G3 and H4 later. So knight F4, bishop F1, like G3 for H4. I don't know if this is too slow. Trying to swap off my light square bishop isn't doing much actually. So I wonder. Okay. I might just go back here and then knight F1 to E3. But I mean, he's coming up with F5 potentially soon. If I try and stop F5 with this move, that battery there for a moment, knight F1 to E3, or knight F1 bishop G5. Okay, knight F1 to E3. G4 here just loses a pawn, right? Maybe bishop G5. As soon as he plays F5, bishop G5. How do you get rid of that bishop potentially? Seems quite useful there. To follow up with knight E3. So bishop takes here. Got knight E3 as a continuation. Trying to keep control of that F5 square. Again, if he wants to take my light square bishop, I'm not sure that harms me that much. Could I consider casting kingside soon? Not now. Queen takes. What does queen takes? Is that terrible? I could try and get control of F5 if I just take on E7. A bit more control over the F5 square. Then castle. Then maybe like F4 later. I get to play F4. So hold it up here a bit. G4. I'm not sure that's really working. Maybe rook H1. G4. Okay. Let's see what happens here. So this rook and pawn ending. no, what's happened? What's that in? Who? I'm still connected. Alright, I think it's coming back. Alright, so G4, A4, if I played A4 for A5, trying to inflict some structural damage. Try and isolate some pawns. So A5 kind of minority attack. If he took Rook A1, that fractured the pawn structure. Interesting. Okay, so if I take, he's giving me this A file. Is that something? It's just A7, A6. I could just try and get a pair of rooks off here. Rook A8. Is that any good? Okay, Rook A6 sort of ties down to that B6 pawn. Could I then bring my king into the center? Okay, I'll play G4 here. Is that doing anything? Maybe this F file could be useful. Let's pawn over there. Try and get a pass pawn over there. It's getting interesting, to say the least. Is that pass pawn a weakness though? If I get a pass pawn over here, maybe I do want the rook off. My king could try and help that pass pawn. I don't know. The check is king B8. There's a problem. I think just G5 for the moment. So my rooks seem active. Can my king step in? Aha, now this rook could go around A8 now. Right, so over here. Well, I'm wondering about king F5. Okay, king F5 here looks very appealing. The G6 doesn't that dangerous. G6 takes check. What about here for rook F6? And then G6. Actually, there's G6 check in this position. Actually, isn't this just winning a rook? Because this rook, or is it nearly winning a rook? Right, there's G6 here.
Check.
Yes, I think that's pretty bad. I think I've squished him here. Yeah, yeah, it was an interesting game. Yeah.
Check. Check.
Yeah, he's technically doing well here. Knight H5. I've been pushing things a bit. Yes, I think I've been a bit naughty here with these pawn moves. Got away with it. Yeah. Well, I think this ending when the queens came off, I think it must have been okay. Surely A4 must be a good. So this is a good idea. I think the engine approves the A5 fracture plan. Yeah, I think I'm starting to get a nice grip on the position. Yeah. Infiltrating on both sides. So the king's coming in a bit. The rook's coming in over there. Yes, it's starting to look really dangerous after king F5. It's force mate in 11. Is this a good move, rook H6? And it's got H7 on for G6, yeah.
Check.
Yeah, it's pretty
Check.
bad. He's going to lose the rook now. King E7, I take mate.
Checkmate.
Alright, comments or questions on YouTube? Thanks very much.